welcome to Shifty Crab Newsbreak. I am one of your hosts, Terry Jeffs, and as usual, I am joined by the best beard in the business. It's Mr. Vince Haley.
Oh, how you doing, Terry?
How are you doing, Vince?
Oh, doing wonderful. We got some great news.
We've got some
to talk about it.
Good news to talk about. Beard is looking great today, Vince. And of course, to complete the Shifty Crab Triforce of Power, it is the campaigner, reigner, the debater, dominator, Mr. Adam Very. How are you, Adam?
Got that itch, man. I've got that itch. You got to give me that sweet news, man. You got to give me that sweet news.
I'm going to fix you up real good, guys. Don't you worry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready.
Don't you worry, because yes, this is Shifty Crab Newsbreak, where we bring you just a pinch of the week's best gaming news and discuss all those juicy games we can't wait to get our claws on. But first of all, a little bit of housekeeping. Just wanted to let you guys know that the latest Shifty Crab podcast is out, where we become cartoons. And we had the great Philip J. Woodward, who created some amazing images of us three. And particularly, you've got to give a shout out to the Gears of War crab logo, which is just absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, do check out the new podcast where we discuss a manner of all things, as we normally do: games, food, you name it, life in general. So go check that out. No campaign mode this week because Adam is close to death, but he is slowly crawling his way out of the abyss that is the dark hole of nothingness. But never mind that, because now we're going to discuss some news, and we got some. How many news stories we got on the agenda today? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stories to go through
10
today,
stories.
guys.
I have breaking news.
Oh, are we chucking that on from the get-go? Or is that going to be at the end?
It's a very quick bit of news that's come up.
Go for it. Go for it now.
I did say it to Vince before we came on air, but you were with us yet.
Hit me.
It's not gaming news, but it's pop culture news.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe is officially playing Zeus in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, I like that casting.
I think that's some pretty good casting.
I like that.
Yeah.
He's already got the beard.
He's
been growing a beard for ages, hasn't he? He's got a big fluffy beard. So
you can see the dots connected there. Like I'm thinking like Gladiator. You know, like that kind of.
Okay.
You know, go Maximus Decimus Meridius. See him in the armor, and then.
Like I know he's not in the greatest shape of his life at the moment, so I don't know if they'll go that route or.
Well, the last role that he was in, I think was that purposely he put on a lot of weight for it.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, but it'd take a lot to shift that much weight.
He's got Christian Bale,
but without I think he's a little bit older than Christian Bale, hasn't he? I don't think he probably has the metabolism.
I don't think anyone has Christian Bale's metabolism.
Yeah,
I don't think metabolism has Christian Bale's metabolism.
No, exactly. But I think it's a very good casting choice.
It's a good casting choice. I'm looking forward to that film a lot. Love and Thunder. It's going to be good. It's going to be good stuff.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Go back to you.
No, that's great. But yeah, speaking of some other things that are going to be good, guys. Our first story. PlayStation signs AAA multiplayer game from former Destiny veterans. This is over at gamesindustry.biz, and this is by Christopher Dring. The debut game from AAA multiplayer developer Firewalk Studios will be published by PlayStation. Firewalk is a new development team that is part of the Probably Monsters collective of studios and was set up by former Bungie veterans, including studio head Tony Su, previously general manager and senior vice president of Destiny at Activision, game director Ryan Ellis, previously creative director at Bungie, and executive producer Elena Siegman, previously of Bungie, Irrational Games, and Harmonix. No details about the new multiplayer game were revealed, but it is an original IP and will be a console exclusive on PlayStation. Quote, "We are really about if we can build a great team, we can build a great game," Stu tells gamesindustry.biz. With a great partnership with Sony and with great teams like Probably Monsters continuing to support us, I think this will allow us to go further and faster. Head of PlayStation Studios Herman Holst adds, quote, "I see this as a strategic partnership that will allow us to continue evolving and exploring new territories for us. I believe that Firewalk's ambitious vision for its original multiplayer game is going to deliver something really fresh and exciting." PlayStation has spent much of the last console generation focused on creating more single-player narrative-driven titles like God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Uncharted. So the fact that it's signed and supporting a multiplayer game feels like a departure for the company. Quote, "I think that the games that we make are distinct and as diverse as can be," Holst continues. "From Sackboy to Astrobot to Dreams to these kinds of games that you're referring to, like The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. And you can bet that we will carry on making these games because they are the heart and soul of what we do here at PlayStation Studios. But at the same time, we're just as committed to making these quality experiences as we are to experimentation and to coming up with fresh ideas." Quote, "But you know what? The lovely folks that were talking to the lovely folks that we are talking to today at Firewalk Studios, they're storytellers just like the people at PlayStation Studios are. They are storytellers in a very innovative way, matched by their deep experiences as a collective in AAA multiplayer games. I think that is going to lead to some very interesting and very nice surprises for our fans. Quote, "I am excited about this partnership because in a way it's an extension of what it is that we do in bringing these new IP to life." Although a AAA multiplayer game is a departure for Sony, Hull says that the firm's drive for a distinct and diverse content isn't all about finding games in different genres. Quote, "I am very interested in creating a diverse slate of titles. Actually, the shape of or form that they come in are less interesting to me than the fact that they are differentiated, diverse and distinctive. We tend to work with teams that do have something in common, which is that ambition that the Firewalk team has, but also the fact that Firewalk is a very strong, autonomous, and I would say fiercely daring team culturally. That's a really good match. So I see those factors before I go into narrowing it down to genres or gameplay modes. It is more about the experience being differentiated and unique." I'm going to stop there because the article goes on and on and on, but I thought it was really key to kind of bring this up, not only because of the announcement, obviously, of this new IP and exclusive, but also that Hulse kind of addressed something that we and a lot of people have been speaking about in the last few weeks. The Jason Schreier article and the story that come out that, that Sony are not looking to make any bets anymore or gambles on these kind of franchises and just kind of sticking with the AAAs. I think he's pretty much saying here, like, no, that is not the case. We're still continuing to do what we've always done and experiment and stuff like that. So, first of all, Vince, what's your thought on this multiplayer game by Firewalk Studios?
I mean, it's interesting. We've got, Sony obviously wanting to do something more. I think bringing in this team that previously, worked at Bungie. They worked on Destiny, and you gotta assume at some point, probably if they were part of Bungie, Halo a little bit. And if you remember back in the heyday, Halo's multiplayer was top tier. It was probably some of the best multiplayer out there. And people still play Destiny multiplayer to this day, whether it's doing like the Iron Banner events or like Trials of Osiris. Like, all those events have been, pretty much a staple of Destiny as a game. So you've got a team that's really comprised of people who know multiplayer, who know kind of what they're doing, how to make a good experience out of that. So I think this could be interesting. Them being picked up by PlayStation is probably good, but the last time we've seen, PlayStation pick up a new studio's first game, having it be a, multiplayer game, was Cliff Bleszinski's old studio, Boss Key, and that was with Lawbreakers, and that didn't turn out so good, did it? They didn't really.
No, I never played.
I
never played Lawbreakers, but it seemed like a game that was right up my street because I loved Quake, I loved Unreal Tournament. I was sad to see what that happened with that and Cliff in general, but yeah, sorry, continue.
That's true. I mean, it could be a decent gamble. It could work out in their favor, or, I mean, it could fade away into unfortunately nothing. I hope it does good. I mean, it's got some great people behind it. So, I mean, only time will tell. We'll see how this plans out for PlayStation if they back it right, because it didn't seem. I feel like that was Lawbreakers kind of failing. They showed it like once at maybe was it E3 or something like that, and then it kind of went completely silent from then on out. So if Sony really just gets behind this and pushes this as their big AAA multiplayer game from the creators of Destiny, then it could be something amazing. Fingers crossed, at least.
Adam, I think you were more kind of in the camp when we spoke about this before of like not worrying too much about what was happening with PlayStation Studios and it's all in good hands. And does this kind of reaffirm that?
Well, it does. Like, you've got to think on that point to start with. Another AAA game, a multiplayer game is going to be something very different, you presume. Obviously, Returnal seems to be like it is coming out. Another.
We're hearing really good things about that.
We're hearing really good things. That's not a paint by numbers game by any stretch of the imagination. You wouldn't call that one of the big hitters. So I think PlayStation are just doing their thing. I think there's a lot of business sense here that, to me, this screams as being a rival to Halo. Halo's multiplayer, when it comes out for Xbox, is going to be the big thing about it. Like, I think way more. The story will come; it'll either disappoint or it will succeed, but it'll be the multiplayer in which Halo lives or dies. Xbox usually do, but especially this cycle so far, have a stronger multiplayer lineup than PlayStation so far, with stuff announced, stuff coming. So it makes sense for Sony to say, well, we're going to bring a great team with some great people in it to come and make a AAA game for us. It'll be a while before we see this, and I hope to God it's not like Destiny. Because I can't stand Destiny. I'm not a big fan of multiplayer games anyway, but I don't like grinds. I want it to be a fun multiplayer, but one where I can pick up, play, and then that's me done. But I think solid move for them. Interesting to see what it is. And I think that, to me, this just screams as, okay, they're going to do good numbers with Halo when it eventually comes out, and Halo Online. So let's bring something that you can only play over here, which is what both companies are doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I find, you said that, I find it interesting because I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't know. I don't really see it as going as something trying to compete with Halo, because I don't think these days anything does need to compete with Halo. Because although, like, we did that Sunday Funday challenge and the Microsoft one that Vince done for us, and literally everything in it was Halo. But I don't know if I would say, like, Halo Infinite, for instance. I really don't know what kind of numbers that would do, because Halo is not what it used to be as a franchise. Everything's moved on for there. People are playing Fortnite. They're playing, I don't know what's everyone playing at the moment. Like it's like modern
Warzone.
Warzone. It's never going to compete with those kinds of things.
No, it's not. But I'm on about which ones are consoles. Like which ones are consoles.
A console, and that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. It's a really interesting thing. I was thinking, is there any other franchises other than Halo, which is like an FPS, which is a console exclusive, like a big one? Like I know PlayStation had Resistance back in the day.
First person, though, isn't it?
No. Like, I don't think there is any. So it is.
It does have a huge multiplayer base, though. Like I can jump online and find matches fairly quickly in Gears.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Like Halo and Gears, totally they've got such a dedicated user base, and they always will have. But they're not going to be. I don't think PlayStation's sitting over here thinking, oh, we need to make something to rival Halo. I think this is going to be, it's ex-Bungie people, so this could be something completely fresh and new, like they did with Destiny again. Like it could be, maybe it is a connected experience again, like something like an online only world. It might be grindy. I don't know.
It'd be interesting to see. I think what Sony are doing and need to do is they need to take a punt with some of these studios that aren't well known, and Sony are quite good at this. they don't have a perfect track record, but they're pretty good at finding the diamonds in the rough, and they become the next big studios. This is probably what they're hoping for here, because they ain't going to pay the money that Microsoft are paying to get companies like Bethesda and stuff like this.
No.
Like, that's not Sony's MO. Like, that's not what they do. So, like, they're going to look at these smaller studios and go, okay, you've got the right people there. Let's see what you can do. So, yeah, it could turn out to be very good. But I'm sure we'll see in a few years' time.
Yeah. I took a look at their website, and they're still hiring for like 24 positions. So,
that
game's like still like 3 or 4 years out, maybe.
Yeah, they've pretty much just decided they're doing a multiplayer game. That's about as far as they've got right now. And Sony have only released this probably to counteract the Jason Schreier. Like, article saying, look, we're doing loads of different types of games. So, yeah, shut the fuck up.
Shut up indeed, because the next story, Knights of the Old Republic remake reportedly in development at Aspyr. This is over at PC Gamer, and the story is by Natalie Clayton. A remaster of the venerable Star Wars RPG Knights of the Old Republic is in the works, Bloomberg's Jason Schreier disclosed earlier this week. Schreier broke the news while guesting on the MinMax podcast via Eurogamer, confirming that Aspyr is developing the KOTOR remake. The studio has previously reported KOTOR to iOS and recently brought older Star Wars games like Republic Commando, Episode 1 Racer, and Jedi Knight series to Switch. But while Aspyr has largely focused on ports and small modernizations, Schreier suggests that this may be a full remake. Whether this means simply upscaling assets or going all in with new models, textures, and shaders remains to be seen. Rumors of a KOTOR revival have been making the rounds for some time. EA were thought to have greenlit a sequel last year, one that would bring the first 2 games in line with the current canon. Andy Kay recently revisited KOTOR in the wake of The Mandalorian second season, finding it a refreshing break from a franchise currently obsessed with its own mythology. In 2018, Lucasfilm shut down a promising fan-made KOTOR reboot built in Unreal Engine 4. Vince,
yeah.
How did you feel when you saw that Aspyr was kind of working on this?
I mean, it's interesting but worrying. I mean, like, remakes, good idea. Remasters are something kind of completely different, because if we're looking at a full remake, that would be fantastic. Modernize that game a bit, bring it, forward, and not just, graphics, visuals, all that. Remake some of the animations, remake some of, like, maybe even voice acting, maybe even polish it up a bit more than just, updating textures and then throwing it out there again for probably like what, $30-$40 maybe, if that, probably. But the fact that we're kind of unsure about what this is going to be, and Aspyr has obviously worked on, Knights of the Old Republic, bringing that to, what was it, iOS, then Republic Commando and Episode 1 Racer, all that over to Switch. They have the familiarity there, but could they pull off like a full remake?
Yeah,
I guess we'll see. Maybe. I mean, I would love it if this was like, Blue Point Studios or someone like that who's handled, these huge graphical updates and remakes and things like that. Aspyr kind of, hasn't really shown that they can really cut their teeth on a remake yet. If this being their first one, a beloved franchise, if they kind of mess it up, that's not going to be good.
Yeah, I haven't played any of these ports either, but apparently they're not meant to be the best ports ever. They're a little bit sketchy, which is a little bit worrying on this. Adam, Adam, did you play KOTOR back in the day, or?
Yeah, I played it back in the day. I'm going to look at this purely from the company side of things, not the game side of things. I don't know if they can do this. So they ported Civ 6, but they only did the port for the Nintendo Switch. And that is bad. That is bad. That game does not run. You can play Civilization 6 better on your mobile than you can on the Switch. Like, it's...
I mean, you can play a lot of games better on anything else than the Switch, but...
True,
a little
but
different.
A little bit different, yeah. KOTOR is a huge game. Like, maybe not by today's standards, like as in size, but it's a hefty game that will need a lot of work. And none of their work has been great.
Yeah.
It has been passable, good at times, sometimes dips into poor, never great. And you want KOTOR to be good, great.
Yeah.
So, I was honestly a little bit surprised by this because I know there's been all these rumors circulating around about a new KOTOR game, which I still believe will be the High Republic. I think it'll be something that's based on that because I feel like we're just at the beginning of that with the comics and books. So I feel like that's really going to come full into focus, like with the franchise, and I think they'll probably adapt something from that. But I really thought that due to when Disney bought out Star Wars, when they bought out LucasArts and Lucasfilm, I thought they were sweeping all the KOTOR stuff under the rug. I know, like, we've still got the Old Republic is still going, the MMO, but I feel like they've pretty much said like that it's not canon now. It's not, we're doing our own version of that, the High Republic. So I'd be very surprised if they actually did a remake of it. I don't know. I feel like maybe there's something lost in translation here, and I feel like it would make sense if this was a remaster, considering that's what they've been doing. Maybe something with a bit more to it than just like the port of what they did porting it to the iOS, bringing it up to like 4K and all the extra textures. Maybe there is some like new dialogue, or so I don't know. I don't even know if they go that far because like you said, Vince, I don't know if they can. From what we've seen them do so far, I don't know if they could handle to what level this needs to be at. This was like, let's not forget, this was a BioWare game back in the day. Like this is, so if you were to bring it up to what today's standards should be, this should be looking like what, like Mass Effect, what's the remake that, like
Legendary Edition.
Yeah, it's got to be in line with that. If it's not in line with that, then it's not good enough. So I don't know. I don't know if they can pull it off. So I'm a little bit worried about this. As excited as I was to see KOTOR in the headlines again, because it is one of my all-time favorite RPGs. And I said to you last week, I've hooked up my original Xbox, and I was really tempted to whack that bad boy in, and just kind of start from the beginning. But because I just associate that game with that original Xbox so much. Whenever it's on, it just like feels like that's where it should be played. Moving on to our next story. Overwatch director Jeff Kaplan announces departure from Blizzard after 19 years. This is over at Eurogamer, and it's by Matt Wales. Jeff Kaplan, Overwatch director, Blizzard Entertainment vice president, and one of the studio's most recognizable faces, has announced his departure from the company after 19 years. Kaplan began his tenure at Blizzard in 2002, quickly joining the World of Warcraft team as a designer and eventually becoming game director on the MMO. He left World of Warcraft in 2009 to work on Blizzard's ill-fated Titan project, RIP, which was cancelled after a lengthy development, but went on to serve as lead director on wildly successful hero shooter Overwatch, and has very much been the public face of the game since its launch in 2016. In a message announcing his departure, Kaplan wrote, quote, "I am leaving Blizzard Entertainment after 19 amazing years. It was truly the honor of a lifetime to have the opportunity to create worlds and heroes for such a passionate audience. I want to express my deep appreciation to everyone at Blizzard who supported our games, our game teams, and our players." He continued, "But I want to say a special thanks to the wonderful game developers that shared in the journey of creation with me. Never accept the world as it appears to be. Always dare to see it for what it could be. I hope you do the same." In an update on the official Overwatch website, Blizzard added that Aaron Keller, a long-serving member of the company and a founding member of the Overwatch team, will be stepping in as game director following Kaplan's departure. Quote, Jeff's been a great leader, mentor, and friend, and he knows how much we're going to miss him, Keller wrote. I've been lucky to work alongside him and the rest of the Overwatch team for many years in building something that continues to inspire people all around the world, and I'm honored to carry the torch forward. Kaplan leaves Blizzard with work on Overwatch 2 well underway. Keller notes that development is continuing at a good pace and that the team will be sharing more frequent updates about Overwatch 2's progress and new features in the live game with you all very soon. Adam, do you think that this is going to have an effect on Blizzard as a whole and Overwatch 2, or do you think it's going to be business as usual, obviously being a big part of the team?
I think it would be remiss to not think that there'd be some sort of impact from this because he's been there for so long, and I'm sure he is embedded through every part of that development. But it's difficult to say whether it's. We've seen lots of companies lose people mid-development and near-end development, and the game's still gone on to do really well. And we've also seen it times when the game's not done great. And is that the reason? Is it not the reason? I think if this game doesn't do well, I'm sure people are going to question this and be like, is this a point to this? And go, is this maybe the reason? But yeah, I think it's just a time will tell sort of thing, to be honest.
Vince, do you agree with that?
Yeah, but more so, I'm a bit worried about what's going on at Blizzard in general. Because recently they haven't had like the best track record of either people leaving or just in general. Blizzard has been doing fairly well. They've just become limping around a bit here recently. And this news was a bit of a shock, I mean, I enjoy Overwatch. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan, but, good game. I like it. I was always interested to see, like, updates on new characters, new things like that. And there was always, Jeff Kaplan there to tell you about everything you need to know. I mean, he was kind of memed a little bit for a while, but
yeah,
it is what it is. It's sad to see him go, but I'm interested to see, how well Overwatch 2 is going to do. I mean, I'm sure it's going to do big because people
it's
love
going to sell
Overwatch.
It's going to sell the numbers because it's Overwatch, you know what I mean? But whether it will be as good or like the thing is to remember is that people forget is at the end of the day, like a developer's studio's name is just a name. Like the reason that we end up loving those games or, it's because of the people behind it. And obviously he was the head of that team through probably its biggest its golden age, like if you'd like we did a campaign mode a few weeks ago. What was the best developer ever, right? If we'd have done that in 2006, 2007, I probably would have put a Blizzard up there because Blizzard have been, I mean, they're one of those, I associate them alongside Valve in that they've always been they'd always been a developer which is like, we're just going to make the games that we feel that are right. We're going to release them when they're ready. We're not rushing everything out. And, you look back at their franchises like Warcraft, Diablo, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, and the fact that, he was ahead of that team when they were making Project Titan, which was meant to be the successor to World of Warcraft. And it didn't happen. And through that, through the remnants, they managed to just kind of stitch together Overwatch. Like Overwatch wasn't even a planned thing. It was just kind of fell out of the failure of what Titan was. And will they be able to have someone that's going to lead this team that's going to do that again with the next game? Don't know. Because as you said, Blizzard has been a bit over the last few years, with the whole Activision thing and all the stuff with China, and it's just this. They're not the company they used to be, and I just hope they don't just go. I can see them going down a similar path to we've seen BioWare go over recent years, and BioWare have been up and down, but but I hope it, turns out well. I'm sure Overwatch 2 is going to still kick ass, but I'll have to wait and see.
Fingers crossed. I'm interested in that single player mode. See what they
Exactly.
can do with it. Yeah.
Exactly. On to our next story. PlayStation U-turns on PS3 and Vita store shutdowns. Let me get that champagne out, boys. Woohoo! This is over at Eurogamer by Tom Phillips, and this was without doubt my favorite news story of the week. I cannot tell you enough.
Right.
PlayStation has dramatically U-turned on its decision to shut down the PlayStation 3 and Vita digital stores following fan criticism. In a statement issued this evening, PlayStation boss Jim Ryan admitted it's clear that we made the wrong decision here. The PSP store will still close on 2nd July this year as planned. PlayStation's decision to drop support for digital PS3 and Vita games purchases was met with significant criticism from fans concerned over the impact it would have on game preservation. Eurogamer collated a list of classics which would be lost for good, and it's a debate which will likely still continue for PSP. And for Vita, the decision impacted developers still creating games for Sony's aging handheld, either because they were due out only weeks before the device's previously planned store shutdown, or because they looked to have run out of time and to be finished at all. Here's Ryan's statement from Today in 4. Quote, recently, we notified players that PlayStation Store for PS3 and PS Vita devices was planned to end this summer. Upon further reflection, however, it's clear that we made the wrong decision here. So today, I'm happy to say that we will be keeping the PlayStation Store operational for PS3 and PS Vita devices. PSP commerce functionality will retire on July 2nd, 2021 as planned. When we initially came to the decision to end purchasing support for PS3 and PS Vita, it was born out of a number of factors, including commerce support challenges for older devices and the ability for us to focus more of our resources on newer devices where a majority of our gamers are playing on. We see now that many of you are incredibly passionate about being able to continue purchasing classic games on PS3 and PS Vita for the foreseeable future. So I'm glad we were able to find a solution to continue operations. I'm glad that we can keep this piece of our history alive for gamers to enjoy while we continue to create cutting-edge new game worlds at PS4, PS5, and the next generation of VR. Thank you for sharing your feedback with us. We're always listening. I appreciate the support from our PlayStation community. So yeah, this was good news. This was two amazing U-turns in the world of news, of gaming and sport this week, which was caused by a fan uproar, and I'm glad to see it. So yeah, I mean, did you have any investment in this on
Terrible idea. Terrible suggestion. They should have let it die. First of all, Sony, I know what you're doing and respect. Oh no, we're going to close it down. You better buy all those games quickly before the store closes. Oh, we've made some money. Oh, we're going to keep it open now, guys, but we'll be back next year to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Ka-ching.
I was ready and waiting with my wallet. That's the thing. I was waiting till the last minute.
No, it's great.
Oh, yeah.
It's great that they've listened, and it shouldn't have done it in the first place. But you have to prepare yourself, Terry. This day is going to come.
It is going to come.
Sure.
And but at least, give us a little bit more warning than that, because I made a list of, and I've got a lot of games on my Vita just purely from what I've got through PlayStation Plus and some stuff that stuff I bought in the sale. But there's a bunch of games on there that I want still, and I've yet to get, and I was writing them down. And the thing is, there's no sales on that store. So everything's just like full price. And I was writing down all of the games that I thought, right, okay, I've got to get this, because once it's gone for good. And it was adding up. And I was like panicking, thinking, I can't afford or get all this before this closes in June or whatever it was. And so when they announced this U-turn, I was like, what? Like relief, because I thought I don't have to panic now. I'm still going to get those stuff, and there's a bunch of stuff I want to play through this year. There's some Final Fantasy titles on there, just to name a few. But I'm so pleased for this. The PSP one, I understand that doesn't really matter anyway to me, because you can get PSP games through the Vita store, and that's where I'm going to be playing them on there. So that's fine. You can still buy your PSP digital games. You just can't buy them through the PSP. But And that's understandable. Jesus, the PSP come out in what, 2005? 2000, I think it was 2005. So we get that, but the Vita's a little bit different. But
well, now Vince, you have to prepare for Doomsday. Yeah. You have to slowly start buying those games.
Yeah. Exactly. I can work my way through them. But Jesus Christ, do a sale on the store. Just give us something, because they're
not going to do that, because they know people are going to spend all this money because it's legacy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they're never going to put a sale on it.
No, they're not.
Definitely not.
They only put a sale on things that they need the numbers for.
Yeah.
It's
true. All of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of other stuff that is true, Xbox Cloud Gaming Limited Beta for Apple devices and PC begins, it's already started, on the April 20th. This is over IGN by Adam Bankhurst. Microsoft has announced that the Xbox Cloud Gaming Limited Beta for Windows 10 PCs and Apple phones and tablets via web browsers will begin for select Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members on April 20th. As revealed on Xbox Wire, invites will be sent out, and those selected will be able to play over 100 Xbox Game Pass titles through Edge, Google Chrome, or Safari on xbox.com/play. This limited beta will be a time to test and learn, and invites will be sent out on a more continuous basis to players in all 22 supported countries. The goal is to iterate quickly and give all Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members this new way to play in the coming months. These games can be played with a compatible Bluetooth or USB connected controller like the Backbone 1, or via custom touch controls for more than 50 games. The reason Xbox Cloud Gaming is only available via a web browser on iOS devices is due to Apple's restrictions on games that bypass the App Store via another app. Xbox Cloud Gaming, which used to be called Project X Cloud, has been available for Android devices for some time. Even in 2019, we were impressed with the tech behind this streaming service, and it has only improved since then. If you're looking forward to checking out Xbox Cloud Gaming, be sure to take a look at our guide for the best controllers for your smartphone. So we're going full throttle on this now, guys. This is the bit that I've been looking forward to about Game Pass. The full streaming, it's getting out there. This is what it's all about. Vince, are you going to be playing Halo on your phone?
Oh, I mean, I've already done it. I've got an Android phone. I've got the app and everything. I've been playing,
Do you know what? I've got Android. I've not even given it a try. I don't know why. Well, I haven't got Game Pass, but there's no reason for me to not sign up.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not bad, Yeah. I mean, you'll experience some latency here and there. Obviously, it's not super perfect right away. It's not the same as playing on your console right away, but it's damn good to have your Xbox games on your phone. Or even now, like you can stream via your Chrome browser or, Microsoft Edge if you actually use it besides installing Chrome or Firefox, I guess. And it's great that, iPhone users can now use it via Safari, of course. But the more people that they can get onto that platform, the more they're going to make. It's great to have, to be able to have everyone have the same experience, I mean, I've been enjoying it. It's worked, not completely perfectly, but it works and it's there. And it's something I could have only have dreamed of when I first saw it, like that reveal. I was like, this is only going to work if, you got a good connection, and how laggy is it going to be? But actually experiencing it for myself, it's great. Of course, I've only used it on my phone, while my wife's been home, she's using TV. I'm playing, Gears or Halo on my phone or whatever I have on Game Pass on there. And it just works. It's great to have something that just works.
Do you think you'll invest in one of these Backbone? I've seen a lot of people getting these now, these controllers, like the holder for your phone.
I've thought about it, but honestly, I mean, it'll be nice to have something to connect my phone to my controller too. But I've really been looking at like the things that kind of like look like the Switch, where you just have your phone in the middle of a little cradle thing. But those are, bit on the expensive end. But I might look into it because the newer Xbox controllers are Bluetooth right out of the box. So you don't have to have like any special connection to them or anything. You just have the sync button, open Bluetooth on your phone, and connect it that way. And it just works. It's fantastic.
Adam, are you excited for streaming Xbox games or?
It's a difficult one. I'm excited by the concept. The practicalities of it do not excite me because it's going to drain the shit out of your phone's battery. So for me, that's a problem. Right. And it's going to damage your battery in the long run. So you got to be careful about this because if you keep draining your battery continuously doing this, that's not good for your battery life, especially if you have an iPhone. Like, and I'm an Apple guy. Like, this is on a MacBook Pro. I have an iPad Pro next to me. My phone's here. My Apple Watch is here. Like, I'm Apple all the way. The tech's great, but for me, there is no need for it because if I want to play a game, I'll play it on a TV or on a monitor. Like,
you do it through PC. You can stream through PC. Although you got a Mac, haven't you?
I've got a Mac, so no. You don't do games on.
Stream through it.
You could, yeah. Yeah, I'm always on the fence of it. It always looks great, but something that really pisses me off is latency and lag. Like, and it's not quite there yet where they've. I know it'll be a long time till it's there where that is not noticeable on it, and that's understandable. This is a new way of life, and the tech is further ahead than the internet providers and the signal is. So, I think maybe 5 years from now we might be in a really, really strong position where this is the new norm, and then I'll be happy to jump on. But until then, I'm quite happy playing the old-fashioned way on my TV.
Yeah. But the thing that excites me most about this is that we know that this is the real beginning of this like streaming services because we've seen OnLive experiment with this. We've seen Google Stadia fall flat on its face. We've seen Amazon's whatever it's called not really do anything yet. Whereas
Luna, is it?
Luna, yeah. Whereas Xbox is purely just, the backbone of it is Game Pass, and they're just kind of adding this on. So this is only going to improve. This isn't like something like, oh, let's try this out. Oh, it's not working. Well, no, this is just, we're just seeing the beginning of it now, and it's only going to improve.
Yeah,
it's only going to get better.
Oh yeah.
And I'm looking forward to when they bring it to smart TVs. I want to be able to just put my TV on and access the Game Pass thing. Hell yeah, you kidding me? Like I can just start streaming on my 4K TV. That's what I want. And until I can be playing Halo on my Vita, I'm not going to be signing up just yet. All right. So bring it to Vita. That's what I'm saying.
The superior console.
Moving on to the next story. PS5 is the fastest selling console in US history, according to the NPD Group. This is over at Games Radar by Connor Sheridan. The NPD Group's latest report, compiled from retail data across the industry, says that PS5 is the fastest selling both in terms of unit and dollar sales, meaning it has sold the most consoles and made the most money doing it in any console's first 5 months on the US market. Video game hardware sales totaled $680 million in March, finally breaking the record of $552 million set back in March 2008 when the Wii's breakthrough sales success was still at its peak. Speaking of successful Nintendo consoles, Switch was the best-selling hardware platform for both units and dollars in the month of March. Looking at the first quarter of 2021, Switch sold the most units, while PS5 made the most dollar sales. Both consoles and PS5 in particular have had constrained supply recently, which makes you wonder what these sales figures would look like if everybody who wanted to find PS5 stock or grab a cheap Nintendo Switch bundle could just do that without spending weeks hammering F5 on a store page. It's hard to believe PS5 has been on the market for 5 months already, but it's true. The system got its first major PS5 update this week, enabling the ability to back up PS5 games on external storage drives and use one-touch play, which automatically turns on your TV along with your PS5 with supported displays. That's really weird, right? Actually, because this earlier, literally a few hours ago, I turned my TV on and my PS5 just fired up. I was like, what is going on? I wasn't playing my PS5. I was just turning my TV on to watch Netflix, and my PS5 turned on, and then just kind of like just took over and went on to the screen. I was like, what's going on? So I don't know if that's something wrong. Yeah, it's learning. I don't know what it's just like. Play me. Strange.
That's a good feature to have, though. I've had it on my Xbox. Since like the Xbox.
It's good if you want to play it. I wouldn't want to play it. I had to go on there and turn it off. But yeah, this it still baffles me that it really kind of infuriates me, because I wish we could have seen what this would have actually looked like in a normal world.
My God, the numbers would be ridiculous.
Yeah, because I just can't believe that it's selling this much, considering no one can get hold of one. The supply chain's just completely fucked in a minute on everywhere with tech. It's crazy.
I'm going to be a bit pessimistic with that.
Go with it.
Would they be as high if people could get their hands on them? So I feel like the problem with it is that as soon as they go up, scammers are buying them in bulk, So they're obviously flying off shelves. If people could get their hands on them while they can get their hands on them, if we were under normal circumstances, everyone who wanted a PS5 could get a PS5, would they be selling out as quickly as they are?
I do think it's created a need for it and that want for it. I remember saying it before, like the fact that everyone's talking on social media that they can't get one, it's making people want one. But I still think that if they were available everywhere and if the supply chains were not restrained, surely then they would be selling more.
Yeah, and scalpers aren't going to buy them if they can't sell them.
Yeah,
that's the other side of it as well. So if the demand wasn't there, they wouldn't buy them. So if they're still buying them, there's still the demand. Like they're not going to put themselves out of pocket. Like I think it would still sell like it was selling, and I think personally, and I think it was always going to be this outcome when you looked at the consoles. And this is nothing against Xbox, nothing at all. The Xbox console isn't designed to sell as many units as the PlayStation. It's just not, because the PlayStation...
I don't think that's their aim.
No, it's not their aim. They're a service now, Xbox. So to play the PlayStation games, you need a PlayStation. To play most of the Xbox games, you just need a PC. So it's a different strategy by them. So, PlayStation did enough with PlayStation 4 to make the PlayStation 5... You needed to have it for the games that were coming. It didn't really surprise me maybe how many it did, in considering the current climate. Yeah, that surprised me a bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what surprised me so much. It's not surprised. Like if this was just a normal year, like if we didn't have anything like COVID, it wouldn't surprise me at all. But the fact that how things are right now and people just can't get one anyway, and and it's still selling more than any industry, it's crazy.
That's probably been a contributing factor into why it's selling so many, though, is because there'll have been some people who maybe fallen out of love with gaming because of life and have now got had a lot more free time. So they've come back in, maybe played the PlayStation 4 and got the Xbox and gone, here we go.
Last year, during lockdown and everything, there was a huge boom in like the gaming market. Yeah. I think game sales went up like 110% or something. I remember it was something crazy.
Well, it's the only medium that could continue.
Yeah. Except now where everything's just stalling and falling flat on its face.
Yeah. But now it's not continuing.
Yeah. But there you go.
Released.
There you go. Moving on to the next story. Lord of the Rings MMO cancelled by Amazon. This is over at Polygon by Ryan Gilliam. Amazon. Close the page. Amazon has cancelled its free-to-play Lord of the Rings MMO, according to a report from Bloomberg. Amazon first revealed the project in 2019 and the game was being co-developed by Amazon Athlon Games and Leo. This news comes only a few weeks after Amazon announced a new game from the creators of Rainbow Six Siege. The Bloomberg report reveals that the game's cancellation comes from a disagreement between Amazon and Tencent, the massive media company that acquired Leo in December of last year. An Amazon spokesperson confirmed to Bloomberg that, in light of the recent Tencent purchase, we have been unable to secure terms to proceed with this title at this time. In the statement, the spokesperson also admitted some disappointment to Bloomberg that audiences wouldn't be able to play the game. Amazon Game Studios reorganized last year, laying off dozens of developers over the summer. More recently, the company cancelled its free-to-play shooter Crucible months after the studio unreleased it. New World, Amazon's upcoming MMO, recently got delayed again earlier this year, with an MMO based on one of the world's biggest IPs getting cancelled at Amazon. It's getting hard for fans to get excited about any Amazon Game Studio games. The Lord of the Rings MMO was supposed to take place in the Second Age, just like Amazon's upcoming TV show. This would have given players the chance to explore Middle-earth before Aragorn, Frodo, and almost all of the beloved heroes of Lord of the Rings came into being. The Lord of the Rings MMO was slated for Windows, PC, and consoles. Vince, was this, as a big fellow Lord of the Rings fan, was this on your radar at all? Was you excited for it, or was this just not even a thing?
I'll be honest, this is the first time I've heard about this game. I have no idea this was a thing, and it's canceled, so I guess I don't really need to worry about it at all. So,
did you ever play the Lord of the Rings online?
Oh yeah, I think I played maybe about an hour of it. Did not enjoy it.
No, I was saying I did not enjoy. I played like the trial of it back in the day. I think I was probably still deep into World of Warcraft at that point. But a lot of people loved that though. A lot of people loved that game.
Oh yeah, no. A lot of people really liked it. I could not get into it. I mean, of course, like you, I did have a World of Warcraft addiction for a while.
Yeah.
And it's really hard for MMOs to become anything, since World of Warcraft is still like giant, you know? And even like the Old Republic, the Star Wars MMO.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I was big into that.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed that for a bit, but World of Warcraft kept pulling me back in because it was kind of the definitive MMO to play, you know? It
until
did what it did best.
Until Final Fantasy 14, of course.
Until Final Fantasy 14.
But no, I agree with you. Like I bounced through so many different MMOs, and I always end up going back to World of Warcraft in some way. But I do truly think that for the first time, like, you know, Final Fantasy has kind of trumped it in almost every way. But although World of Warcraft in its golden age, like the Burning Crusade, like that was something special. But no, this is a little bit surprising. And Adam, I know you I know you love the Lord of the Rings series so much, so I'm sure you're absolutely burned by this news. But
what I will say is Vince is a liar.
Why is Vince a liar?
Vince, I'm looking you dead in the eyes. You are a liar. Mm-hmm. We discussed this on Newsbreak when we talked about Amazon Games and how they'd spent $500 million in a year, and this was one of the games, and we both said, "Go back and watch. This game ain't happening." Is what we said on that episode. We both went, "This game ain't happening."
Oh, it's not happening.
I just moved past it. So just heard it here first. Don't trust a thing that comes out of Vince's mouth. Continue with your Lord of the Rings geekology.
Well, you know how bad my memory is when it comes to games. I keep forgetting Red Dead Redemption 2 is a thing. Come on.
Yeah, you do.
How can you expect me to remember this game we talked about once?
True. Just canceled. Saying.
But this goes back to, you know, what we were just saying about why Xbox streaming is going to work, and why Stadia and Amazon are just seeming to fall flat on their face with this kind of stuff. Because I just feel like they've got all this money and they think, oh, you know, we can do that, and it's just proving no, it's not that easy. It's not easy. Like PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, they've built this up over decades. They have these like you can't just go and buy these teams and just bring people over to like create stuff. You've got to have that history and working with people. And I'm sure Amazon don't get me wrong, I'm so hyped for the Amazon Lord of the Rings TV show. I really, really hope that it's going to be something special. And I know they're pouring a lot of money into that, but they probably just literally just jumped and thought, right, this is going to be huge. Let's just pour all this money and we'll make an MMO like it's at the same time, because that's going to be huge. So people are going to want to play this, and they probably didn't think things through, and it's just going to become another one of those things that's cancelled, just like a lot of their other stuff. And the same what happened with Google. So yeah, bit of a shame. Also, I did want to mention though, because we didn't speak about this on a previous news break, but what did you like? I'm asking you this, Vince, because I know Adam would not be interested at all.
Go, shall I? Yeah.
What did you think of the Gollum trailer?
Oh, I don't think I actually watched that.
Oh, you need to check that out. I mean, it only shows it.
I watched it.
Yeah,
I watched it. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Go on.
I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. Looked shit.
Look, it looks interesting. I'll tell you. Yeah, it's I don't even know really how the game works, because obviously you're playing as Gollum, so it's more you kind of like a bit stealthy. I'd say you could kind of compare it to Little Nightmares in the fact that you're trying to get through this world and like not be seen. But it's cool because you're seeing things. I want a Lord of the Rings game where I'm not just like killing people and mashing stuff up. I just want to explore the world. It does
look like the novelty is going to wear off pretty quickly with that game, though.
It might.
It does look like it looks like it might be slightly repetitive, but.
We only see like a brief.
It does look interesting. I know I joked and said it looks shit, but it does genuinely look quite interesting.
I mean, to be fair, Tolkien's story was never really about the giant battles and killing shit anyway.
No, it's about all the made up names heroes. and the shit names that comes up with people.
I read the books like literally right after when the films came out, and I was so surprised. Like the battles would be like 2 pages. You're like, right, okay. It'd be like, it literally described like, so this guy, like, they hit swords and that's the end of that. It's like, okay, right. And Peter Jackson managed to stretch that to 45 minutes in one scene. But yeah. 45 minutes. Yeah. So yeah, they're really not a big part of it, and it's more about the characters and the story. But moving on to our last story, Lego Luigi leak confirms crying Super Mario suspicions. This is over at Eurogamer by Tom Phillips. So first of all, I'm going to go to the original story and then I'll tell you the update. So the original story, a now removed Amazon China leak has confirmed the upcoming release of a Lego Super Mario Luigi toy and playset. The Lego Super Mario Adventures with Luigi set features a green version of Lego's interactive Super Mario toy with the same LCD eyes, mouth and chest panel. The second starter course was spotted by the Brick Fan before the original listing was taken offline. It also contains a pink Yoshi, Boom Boom, and Bone Goomba. Of course, Luigi's leakage follows a creepy tease from Lego's first reported on by Eurogamer last week. Following a firmware update, Lego Mario toys began calling out to their brothers and calling you into a purchase. What will happen when the two brothers are brought together? We'll have to wait and see. And so on the update, it says, after hints and leaks, Lego has now officially confirmed this Lego Super Luigi starter course and said it will arrive here on 1st of August. The set can be seen in action in the new trailer below and can already be pre-ordered via the Lego shop. Here in the UK, it's priced as $49.99. So personally, I'm really excited about this because we have the Mario Lego set. And as soon as I told Harry about this, he was like losing his mind because I said, we've got to get, so we went and got the Mario, and because I've got the app on my phone, you have to update him all the time with the firmware. So I was like, we've got to update him because apparently he's like calling up for Luigi. So like he's had it on like listening. He hasn't said it yet, but he's apparently said stuff like, "Where's my brother?" So
and if you don't buy Luigi, is this him for life now? Just going, please, where's my brother? I'm lonely.
He's just crying the whole time, like which makes your children start crying. Like what? Yeah, it's just like guilting you into buying the Luigi set. But yeah, more Mario Lego, which cannot be bad for anyone because I love Lego Mario. It's so
bad for your bank balance, I tell you.
That's true. Legos are fucking expensive.
They are so expensive. They're so expensive. We've been what I do like is the little packs you can get, like in the shops, like the little. They're like,
oh yeah,
I can't remember how much they are. That a few quid, but you can just get like a Goomba or just little enemies and just cool things to collect, and it just adds to the little set.
Oh.
Very cool indeed. But guys, that's all our news for today.
We've done it.
That is this week's Shifty Crab News Break. Don't forget to check out our Sunday Funday challenge on this Sunday, and also campaign mode, which will be back campaign mode will be back the following week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So not this week, next week, but we'll be back next Friday again for another Shifty Crab News Break. But I have been Terry, been joined by Vince. Thank you for joining us, Vince, the best beard in business.
Of course, always a pleasure. Never a chore.
Never a chore indeed. And Adam, thanks for dragging your corpse out of the grave to be with us today and prop it up nicely and talk and give opinions.
You're very welcome. Lord of the Rings sucks. Continue.
Oh, man. Crawl back in.
Eventually, we're going to have to weekend at Bernie's and throw some shades on him. Start like puppeteering him.
Just puppeteering. Lord of the Rings is great.
Until next time, stay shifty.
Bye-bye.